What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the Polynesian Bowl wide receiver versus DB one-on-ones. Guys, I think this is going to be a great example to show you guys some of the things that these guys can work on, some of the things that they do well, and how to beat ultimately man coverage, okay? And guys, if you're a wide receiver and you're watching this and you need to improve your football IQ, big part of receivers being on the same page as the quarterback, check out the link in the description to get access to my 16 NFL defensive breakdowns. Imagine breakdowns just like this, but we're breaking down defensive coverage, okay? So let's get started. So he's going to be running this out route, right? But this guy's way inside leverage. So we're going to talk about why he decided to stem his route the way he did in this square cut. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he comes up, breakdown stick, working this square cut, accelerates off of it. I really like this route. I think this is a really great route because here's the deal. He's inside leverage. So what most people would do is just run up and run this out. All this guy's going to be able to do is turn his hips. He's going to be forced up to the outside. He's going to make a good break on this ball and then go make a play on this ball, right? So we got to give him something, and we want to step on his toes, okay? So that's the whole goal of this. We want to get him backpedaling in this thing. We want to get him on his heels and leaning back, okay? And that's why we angle our stem to the inside and we attack the midline of his body. That's what we need to attack, the midline of the DB. So again, you see he's angling his stem now. He's attacking straight at it. Now what this DB didn't do too great of a job was opening up these hips too early, because usually when somebody angles their stem like this, they're going to run a dig route, right? So we got his hips turned. We're attacking the midline of his body. Now when we get up to it, we're working this square cut. So all this square cut is where we break down here. So I maybe go 1, 2, 3, 4, jab to the inside, violent head and shoulders to get this DB to lean to the inside, right? And that's exactly what we do. He comes up, fast hands, fast feet, jab to the inside. Now you see when he makes this jab, this is great technique because this is not what a lot of people at the high school level are able to do. They make this stick, it's inside their frame. It's very explosive, and their head and their shoulders are violent. What a lot of guys do is they reach with this leg right here. They'll reach way out wide. They lean back. It's not explosive. It'll get a bad DB. It'll get a sorry DB, but it's not going to get a good DB, right? And then obviously this guy's a pretty decent DB because he's at this game. So inside of his frame, violent head and shoulders. That's if we could just get him to lean right here. We accomplished what we needed to accomplish. And then he bursts off of it and he's running out of it. You see he's pumping his arms, extending the separation from 20 right here. That's a great job by this receiver working this square cut out route, okay? Stemming this thing to the inside. When we stem it, we just got to get going. We got to attack this DB fast, break down, stick. That's a great job by this wide receiver. Let's watch it full speed one more time. Coming inside, break down, stick, get him leaning inside, explode off of this thing. That's great work right there by that receiver, okay? So now, he's going to be running a little bit of an in route. This is like a goal line situation. So we got to work something with this DB here. So let's watch it full speed. So again, kind of slides in, bursts upfield, selling like he might be running this comeback or some kind of stutter go. That's a great job by Hudson working this route here. So again, when he comes off the line, he kind of slides him. Now what he's trying to do here, getting this DB's feet moving. Again, if we slide on our release, this DB is going to slide with us. He's not just going to sit there, right? He's not just going to give up the outside. So when we normally work a slide release, we just kick up into second gear and run a go, or we slide him, then we run a slant back underneath, right? So again, look at this linebacker. He's a much bigger guy than him, right? Much bigger linebacker than this receiver. I get this question asked a lot. How do I beat a bigger DB, right? Well, this is how. You got to have quick feet. You got to be willing to work. You got to have a plan off the line of scrimmage. You got to have a plan for your hands, and you got to have a plan for your feet. So again, he slides him. That's his plan. Now it gets him sliding. It gets he gets his feet working, and he kicks up into second gear. Now, when he's running this little stutter right here, selling like he's just maybe running a comeback, anything to get his feet to stop. But he did a good job of selling vertical off of it to get this linebacker to run up and go vertical with him. And then he swats him by and then comes back underneath. That's a great job having a plan for your hands at the break too, because you could see swats him by. A lot of times I say when you face a physical guy, it's not about, a lot of people are just scared when they face a bigger guy. You still got to be willing to be physical. You swat him by on this elbow. You get his hips committed by selling vertical, because a much bigger guy is not going to be able to change direction as fast as we should as a smaller receiver, or even if we were a bigger receiver, but we're facing a bigger DB, okay? So we got to have a plan for our hands, got to be physical with my hands, swat him by, and then keep accelerating through this route. Don't just because we have him beat, ease up. That's a great job by Hudson right here on this route. Now, here's the deal with this route. Yeah, it's all good. If it's like a one-on-one situation and we're in the goal line, yes, we got to give this DB something, right? If we're one-on-one with the linebacker, we got to get him off us, because if we get space in the red zone, we're going to score. Here's my issue with it. This kind of long, slow play outside, right? And then we kind of burst up, we give a little bit of a stutter. Is that realistic to a game time scenario? I think it is, because I think this was about 3 seconds. I think we could give the quarterback about 3 seconds. If we got a one-on-one matchup that we like, I think that's good enough, right? But be very careful when we slide this guy and then we work up that we're not doing 20 different moves, okay? It's got to make it realistic. And in the red zone, you got to get some space, right? So that's why I like this. That's why I'm not too critiqueful of it. But don't be doing this when we're in open field. When it's open field and it's like 2nd and 7, don't be doing this. Just get up into your route. Think of something else, right? Because we're in the red zone. We got to make sure we get a lot of space. One-on-one situation, that's why we're working this. So I don't want to work this in the middle of the field. It's not going to work in the middle of the field, okay? It's going to work when it's a man-on-man, man coverage situation like this. That's why they're working it, okay? You got to be very careful when we work one-on-ones that you're not doing stupid stuff to make sure that you break his ankles, whatever. Did you actually get better? Is that going to help you in a game, right? But this is one of those situations where, yes, it took a little bit longer. A lot of people would be critiqueful of it, but in the situation on the goal line, we got to get some space. One-on-one, I like it. I'll time it right now. So it's here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, ball's out of the quarterback's hands. That's actually not, that's fine. I'm okay with that timing. I would like it to be obviously quicker. I'd like everything to be quicker, but I think the offensive line should be able to give the quarterback 3 seconds. And if he doesn't, he should be able to recognize that. Like if he's got an unblocked guy blitzing, he needs to find somebody else and get it out of his hands. But I'm all right with that route. Okay, so next clip here, and this is one that doesn't work. He's going to be running a fade. Now, when we're facing a bigger guy, we got to give him something good off the line of scrimmage. So you see here, he tries to give this kind of split release, not getting anybody, right? Not getting anybody on this split. Really good job making this play. A linebacker lined up on a slot. Now, when we work this thing lined up on a slot here, you see the split release that he takes. Not really too much movement from his body, right? It's just more so his foot's jabbing, number stays square, right? Look, he's disciplined. He's looking at his number. You're taught to go from number, and then he's looking at his hip, right? So if I don't give him any movement with my number, I don't want to expect him to move, right? So I got to make sure anytime I'm working a release, I want to give him something with my number. Just a little bit of head and shoulders going this way could at least freeze him, right? But this DB plays it well. He's watching that number the entire time, and now he's working upfield and makes a play on this ball. That's one of the situations where on a split release, guys, and especially against a bigger guy, he's not going to be as quick as we are, or at least he shouldn't be. I know Flo's a freak athlete, right? But when we give him this split release, you got to give him something with your upper half. Anything when you're placing press like this. Let's watch it full speed one more time. Just can't leave your number square. I got to give a little bit of movement with my upper half when I want to make sure I get separation, okay? So now, this route is kind of very similar to the last route, or the 2 routes before that we were working. Let's watch it full speed. So you see how he just kind of comes out. He's real patient, then breaks it off to the inside. Now, this is about the same timing. He just didn't really take that speed release. Kind of took this hesitation here, right? This hesitation gets this DB's feet in the ground, right? Gets him thinking, gets him reacting. We want to get a reaction out of him. Now we're going to burst upfield, kind of take it slow, trying to dictate the tempo of this route. Now, what gets this route to work is this eyes right here. Peeking back, selling like we're just going to go fade. Quarterback's going to drop this thing right over the top, giving him his eyes, and then he's breaking it down, running back over underneath, right? So when I self-fade, what that does to this guy, when I'm looking back with my eyes, when I commit my shoulders, that makes him kick up into second gear because he doesn't want to get beat over the top. No DB, I don't know any DB that isn't a little bit afraid to get beat over the top, or that's something that they want to happen, right? Nobody wants to get beat over the top. So if we can be that vertical threat, give him my eyes, and then just break it off right on a dime, 1, 2, 3, out of there. Running my arms, making sure right here, because here's the deal, they work this all the time. That's the drills that they work. I give you guys all kinds of drills to do, but the drills that DBs work is they're coming in and out of breaks. They're focusing on opening up their hips fast, speed, turning, opening up, driving off of this back pedal. That's the drills that they work. So we got to make sure that we're accelerating off this break because that's the third part of this route. We could get him to overcommit. We could get some space off the line of scrimmage, but if I don't accelerate and make sure that I get some separation on this route, then I'm not going to be open, right? But he pumps those arms. He makes sure he runs out of this break and makes sure he gets about 1 yard of separation. That's all you need on the goal line. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So coming off here, a little bit slow, burst up, sell with the eyes, coming back over the middle. That's a great job by this receiver working that in route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments any questions you guys have. I will make sure to get back to you. And again, if you want to improve your football IQ, please check out that link in the description for breakdowns just like this, but where we talk about actual NFL defenses and I break down what to look for in a defense. I'll see you guys next time.